So, Aniket, we can start now. Uh, Hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar. And so today the topic is data science for decision making, a must-have skills for professionals. So before going into the webinar, I will quickly introduce the today's speaker. So today's speaker is Mr. Aniket Chabra. So currently he is the director of uh, technical product management, Gen AI in Mon AI. So with over 13 years of experience in AI and ML, he has a deep understanding of Gen AI products, and also he brings expertise in building intelligent data-driven solutions. His journey spans industry giants like PayPal, Fidelity, GE Capital, ASAPP, where he has worked at the intersection of finance, technology, and product innovation. So his skills involves predictive modeling, machine learning, and deep learning algorithms. And also he is one of our alumni of the PGP Data Science program. So before handing over to Aniket, I will just give you basic instructions of the webinar. So this is a listen only mode webinar. So whatever questions you have, whatever queries you have, you can mention it in the Q&A section which is present below, or you can also put it in the chat. Okay, thank you. Over to you, Aniket.
Yeah, thank you, Vikas. Hey, everyone. Good evening, and thank you for taking out time on a weekday to join the session. As Vikas already, talked about the agenda. Just to reiterate what Vikas mentioned, that we are going to talk about especially like how data science helps in decision making, business decision making. So, or why do businesses need data scientists? And then what are the skills that we need to become a data scientist, right? So to become a professional in data science. So let's talk about the process flow of data science, right? So if I look at any project, if you take, right, what are the steps that again you will learn more this, in the courses that you're going to choose. But to give you a brief about like what exactly we do in a project as a data scientist is mentioned here. You first start with a problem statement understanding, a business, problem that the customer and you are discussing. You understand that problem. That's the first thing. Role of a data scientist is to convert the business problem into a data problem, right? Because there is a problem statement which can be very abstract, or there could be a problem statement which is very detailed. It depends upon what kind of problem you're solving, how the business process is in terms of like, is it really matured or is it not matured at a nascent stage? So it depends on the stage of the problem or the business that you are working in, and the problem statement accordingly comes to that. But that's a first step. But your role is to convert that business problem to a data problem, and that's why customer actually relies on you. Okay, this person can solve this problem by data, right? And it is a technical skill. So of course, that in this problem solving, we follow certain techniques. We use some tools like Python, Tableau, SQL. We'll talk more about that in detail, but that's what the toolkit of a data scientist, a technique set, a couple of techniques, as well as a couple of tools, which data scientist uses to solve any problem. But the first step, the second, after the first step, the second step is now, okay, let's understand the data. So based on the problem statement, you access the required data to solve the problem. Like take an example of maybe a customer is asking you to predict the revenue. Let's do a root cause analysis of a revenue fall in a particular product in the last 6 months. Let's say something happened in the business, and now they see there is a revenue went down by, let's say, 10% in the last 6 months. Now what will you do to analyze this revenue fall that happened in the product, right? What could be the reason for that? That's your responsibility now. So the first step is that you collect the data of that particular product, right? Now you can go further here, like collect more parameters. One, the regions where the product is being sold, the categories, right, of the product. There could be multiple categories. Let's say, for example, electronics. The revenue fell. You are an e-commerce company. The revenue fell for electronic products. Now, electronic, there can be multiple, products. Mobile phone is one, maybe TV and large electronics is one, appliances a third one, like that. So let's say you break that down into further level, and then the next level is to understand the categories, the further categories. So electronics is one. Let's say within the electronics, there are regions that you are selling these electronics. Then apart from region, the other parameter is that subcategory of the electronics, right? Then it's online versus offline, application versus website, right? Mobile application versus website, right? These are internal factors like parameters you will fetch about the data, right? So, and then second external factor could be like there is a competition in the market. There's a pricing effect that has come into place. There's a marketing, campaign that was going on now. It has stopped in the last 3 months. That's why you see revenue fall. So all these data parameters that you extract before you go deeper into the problem statement, the analysis of the data, right? So that you extract and then then start diving deep in this data. That deep dive is called exploratory data analysis, right? EDA, right? So it's basically meaning that you explore the data now based on the parameters that you have collected. So now what are you doing? If you remember the first point that I made, converting the business problem to a data problem, you collected the data. Now you're going deeper to collect those parameters and exploring those parameters, like how the parameters are behaving, right? And then the next step is, okay, let's do a root cause analysis here. You do a lot of, univariate analysis, bivariate analysis to understand the patterns. Okay, is the region in a particular region impacting the revenue fall? Maybe let's say North India has seen a fall in the revenue of the product. Okay, specific categories are mobile phones when the revenue fell. Then you have a third parameter category would be that okay, um, um, this happened because there is a marketing campaign. Right now, the marketing campaign has stopped, right, and that impacted that. And there could be other competitive product also got launched in the last 3 months, right? So that's where the root cause analysis you start analyzing and then sharing your insight with the business, right? And along with that, let's say the task is also now okay. Let's now predict the future revenue from this product, right? For the next 6 months, what will be the revenue? That will be the predictive model part. So there you have a tools, techniques available like machine learning models, which you can use to predict, okay, what will be the demand for this particular product in the next 6 months, right? You build the model as a data scientist, you validate the model, and then share the final insights with the customers. So that's a data science project. So you did root cause analysis historically, like you did a lot of diagnostic parts, like what happened to the revenue, and now you're also projecting the revenue for the next 6 months, the demand for the next 6 months. That is what a data science process, flow looks like. Okay, so in this case, what did you use, right? So as I was mentioning earlier, that there are set of techniques and there are set of tools that you use. The set of techniques are one, in the root cause, you did a lot of univariate analysis, bivariate analysis. These are like you can say in the analytics, terminology, they're called diagnostic analysis that you perform on the data. Then later part, you're also predicting the revenue for the next 6 months. This is a predictive part, which is where you use machine learning techniques. Like maybe it could be, let's say, the revenue prediction. It could be regression models, starting from linear regression to maybe dysentery, random forest regressors, so on and so forth, right? And the tools that you use for data fetching, you might be using, let's say, data sitting in databases. You might be using SQL as a tool to access the data because data sits in SQL databases. It's a transaction level data sitting in, let's say, maybe SQL database. Then you are accessing the data and creating EDA, generating EDA plots, doing exploratory data analysis. Then you use Python as a tool. So you need SQL, Python, and there's machine learning techniques as set of tools, machine learning techniques. Combine them, that becomes your toolkit to solve any particular problem or to complete a project in data science. Okay. I hope this is clear. If anyone has any doubts, please feel free to post your questions in the chat regarding any particular step. Happy to answer. So, just to deep dive more on the skills that are required, the toolkit that we were talking about for a data scientist. So, um, um,
there are three categories of skills, or these skills are actually divided into three categories. The first category is, I would expand this to mathematical and statistical expertise. So when you say mathematical and statistical expertise, you don't need to become an expert in maths or stats. That's not the objective here. You're not solving directly a calculus problem, doing some derivation or integrations here. That's not the objective. You're actually understanding the data and do some basic maths around the data. Like for example, let's say the revenue, root cause analysis that we're doing in the previous example, right? So calculating the trend of the revenue, like what was the revenue percentage, growth for the last 6 months, or the revenue was degrowing, so what is the decline percentage, what will be your forecast. So that's a basic maths of ratio, proportions, calculations, right, that you do perform when doing this EDA, root cause, right, or maybe doing predictions. So that's a calculations that you perform. That's the level of math that is needed. Similarly, statistics also, there is historical data sampling you have to perform. Now, you will only have to take 6 months of data. Now, maybe you have a billions of transactions happening. You can't take all the data. You have to take a sample out of that. Out of the sample, what are your assumptions, right? What sampling techniques are you following? Are you following a completely random sampling, or maybe you're doing some stratified sampling, basis coming on some certain groups, right? So that is a statistical knowledge that is required. So that becomes your mathematical and statistical expertise to perform this analysis, that or data science projects or analysis that we talked about. There is a business acumen part, which actually you get as you get more experience, right? Which, what do I mean by that is that, let's say you're part of maybe a fintech industry, right? Then over the period of time you gain knowledge in fintech world, how the fintech works, right? What are the products of fintechs, how you can fit data science, data analytics in the fintech domain. So all these are business acumen knowledge that you achieve, that you get over the period of time. Right? Then you have technical skills, technology, which I already talked about. So technology skills are two parts: tools, Python, SQL, Tableau, Excel, right? And then techniques like machine learning skills, classification, regression model, supervised, unsupervised model. Nowadays, Gen AI techniques also, right? Like that. We need to be technically good at to become a good data scientist. Okay. So these three categories of skills are required. um, what are the roles and responsibilities available in the market, right? So the first one is on the from the left, is data engineer responsibility. Now, data engineers are actually um, are coming from engineering background. They're not like they are different from data science and data analytics professionals, right? So they are the people who are responsible for building databases in your company. So they are, API, they might be building some APIs, making sure the data is available in the databases, right? Data is has quality, right? And the data is secure. So that is their responsibility to provide the data, to make the data available for data scientists and data analysts. That's what data engineer is, right? So as I said, this is a different domain. People come from engineering background directly joining data engineering as an organization, but this is related to data. That's why it's mentioned here. Then there are two main primary roles where this course is also like, making you ready for. And the market also accepts these two different applications. One application is data scientist, which is a person who builds. The primary responsibility of a data scientist is to build predictive models. A data scientist is actually a person who works on machine learning models. Nowadays, deep learning, as well as, let's say, now Gen AI algorithms also. So what do I mean by that is, the technical skill set or the techniques that data scientists need to learn is the machine learning skills: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, classification, regression, neural networks, transformers, RNNs, CNNs, etc. All these models, they work hands-on on these models um, for a company, right? So that's where the difference between data scientist and business analyst or data analyst. Data analyst is, they might be working on Python as a tool, yes. They do a lot of data analysis, yes, but they don't work on predictive models. They don't work on like machine learning models all the time. It's not that they can't work, they can work. That's why there is a skill overlap as well. But it's not their core responsibility to work on machine learning models. So they work on the root cause analysis, the first part that I talked about. They work on post the model is deployed, built on the measurement side, experimentation, A/B test, etc. That's why they also need to know the the basic statistics and basic maths, because they also work on data. Apart from predictive modeling, their toolkit is primarily involving the descriptive, the diagnostic, the prescriptive part of data. The data scientist responsibility is predictive side of the data. So that's the difference between the roles and responsibilities of these three categories of roles. There is an overlap where data science skills are required, but for business analysts, for data analysts, they focus more on the analytics side of the any problem statement versus the modeling side of the problem statement. I hope this is clear. Again, happy to talk more on that. Recently, for the last couple of years, I would say almost 3 years, right? There's a new domain that we all are seeing emerging, and it is getting popular day by day. And now the expectation from every data scientist to learn this as well, right? And this is called the Gen AI, just generative AI. So very quickly, like how Gen AI is different from the machine learning, the classic machine learning is, um, in the machine learning, the task that we have been doing, the predicting revenue, for example, right? What was that problem? That problem was that you look at historical data, and based on the historical data, you have certain tools available, the techniques available, like classification, regression, predictions, and you're predicting the like what will happen to the revenue in the next 6 months or 1 year, right? So, which means that you're analyzing historical data and predicting the future, trends, revenue, product recommendation, churns, right? So that is your primary objective, that analyzing historical data and make predictions for the future. This is, in mathematical terms, it is called optimization problem. So there is a function y. So there is a y which is a function of x. You are using x to predict y. Now, here in the generative AI, on the other hand, what is different? Um, here, the task that you are performing by this AI are generative by nature. For example, you want the AI model to write an email for you, right? Now, here AI model is doing what? Writing an email to you, email to your, let's say, whoever you want to send. So then it will draft an email for you, right? You want AI to translate, like from English to, let's say, any other language, French, maybe. Because you don't know French, you want to talk to somebody who is French, and now it is translating to you. Now you want your AI to maybe, write a resume summary for you, which means that it'll write about your career, the summary, 3 4 line summary on your resume, right? In fact, you can create a whole resume also with AI. If you think about these tasks, what are these tasks look like? These tasks look like they are generating something for you. They are generative tasks. That is why the technology is generative, right? It's called Gen AI technology, right? So here, what's happening is that that in this, the underlying techniques could be like models again. So these Gen AI is based on the large language models, right? So we'll talk about them. But the idea, to give you overall, again, a 30,000 feet overview, is that you are now using AI to generate some task. Earlier, you were using the AI to predict, to perform some optimization level algorithms, you were using, which were doing optimization for you. So in this, what else you can do? So the technologies like are, there is a underlying Gen AI technology. Like there are models like deep learning models like transformers, these language models that work within Gen AI to make Gen AI perform the task. So you must have heard about that in Gen AI, generally you might not be building the models. You'll only be interacting with them via prompts. So you write prompts to them, they'll give you the answer. So they can do multiple tasks, right? They can do, as I said, they can answer your questions, they can generate summary for your revenue, they can do some, writing email draft to you. But how do you interact with them? You interact with them via prompts, right? And how do you access them? Models are available to you as a service. Companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, Google, I mean, or Meta provide you these models to access via APIs. You go to ChatGPT, you ask a question, they give you the answer, right? So this is called model as a service. You don't build the model here. Not every company, needs to build the model. In fact, only few companies have these proprietary models, right? Across the globe, if you see, there are very few companies, although there is a lot of competition there, but there are few companies. Like OpenAI is one of the company, Anthropic is another company who have model, Mistral is another company, Meta provides open source models, so and so forth, right? And what can they do? What are their applications? I gave you a couple of examples already. There can be many other examples, right? So, for example, customer support, you have a chatbot. Now, the earlier the chatbots were more like deterministic, logic-based, flow-based chatbots. Now you have more AI-based chatbots. You can have more interactive interactions with them, right? Marketing content that you see, a lot of marketing content is being generated by AI, right? Business and finance material is being generated by AI. Education and learning, a lot of coding problems are being solved by AI, right? So this is how you use AI or their applications day to day we use. And then how do you, if you have to make those models, like how do you make it, right? There are multiple ways. One, you can actually train them, but it's very expensive to train the LLMs, right? Oh, that's why it's only done by so far like very few number of, like handful number of organizations. But there are other ways to update the model for your use cases. One technique is called RAG technique, which is called retrieval augmented generation technique. And then one technique is called fine tuning technique, which is updating the model specifying by your specifically for your own tasks. Right. But again, we'll not go into the detail of these two parts because that's very specific to particular topic, and you will learn this um, um, in the course as well. The idea is to give you a high level overview here. Okay, so now what is new in the industry, right? So what exactly happening latest in the industry? So there is a product called launched by Google called Alpha Evolve, right? So what is this? It's a coding agent. So what do I mean by coding agent? It can write codes for you, right? So you just describe the situation. Okay, you want to build an application. It will now do everything. I mean, writing every code to build that application for you. Now you don't have to actually code. The AI tool will generate the code for you. The Evolve will do the generate the code for you. The code you can use and build your application. Right? You can see that Alpha Evolve begins by generating multiple algorithm variants via prompts powered by large language model like Gemini. Underlying model is Gemini model, right? So how has been the success for this product? Google has actually demonstrated remarkable results, successfully rediscovering state-of-the-art solution by approximately 75% of open mathematical problems. So see this is one of the tool like Alpha Evolve. There are many other tools available in the market which you can use. They work as a coding assistant. In fact, software engineering is one of the area which is actually where the codes are being generated by these AI tools very well. You can look at this one. You can look at, in fact, you can use ChatGPT also to generate some code. It'll generate the code for you. Okay, so this is what Gen AI, AI, ML, the skill set for data science, what exactly a data scientist do in a project. We all talked about, like we talked about all of this in previous slides. Now let's shift gears and talk about the market trends in of data science. Before I start this part, this is a part two of the discussion. Any questions on part one? Anyone about Gen AI, AI, ML, data science, machine learning, right? Feel free to ask your question, post your question in the chat. Now let's talk about the how the market looks like or how the market will grow in the next couple of years. So if I talk about markets in general, so data science, you see there are lots of jobs there. India as one of the emerging markets where the number of jobs in the data science have been growing for the past many years, right? And it's the highest in India. You can see that globally the market compounding annual growth rate for data science jobs is around 26%. But in India numbers, you see the data scientist jobs will be double or will increase by 300%, not sorry, triple. between the time period of 2022 to 2030. So this is one of the area which is growing incessantly in India, right? Why? Because India is a global capability center. Like, it's the engineering and data science hub for global companies, the large tech firms, the Indian startups, the other startups globally who are working outside, like who are from other companies. They open their engineering and data science centers in India and hire data scientists to work for them. So that's why India has largest number of opportunities of data science. And of course, like, um, 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 how how come these jobs are like mostly in India? Because India has a large pool of people who are talent. Like, we are developing a lot of talent in data science, and that's why India is the most suitable place to hire data scientists. Okay. So the market is growing, which means that what it means to us, it means that we have a right opportunity, or this is the right time to learn data science, and especially in the Gen AI world, where in the next couple of years, when there is a lot of openings, you will see that once this dust gets settled, there are a lot of efficiency exercises are going on in the organization, but once this gets settled, you will see a lot of jobs for data scientists. Okay. So what are the career path for people in data science? So there are multiple career paths, right? So let's divide this career path into technical versus non-technical, less technical people. Although overall we need to be technical in data science, but there are few roles which are like core technical roles in data science, which are, if you look at AI engineer, ML engineer, right? These are the two roles which are like more on the deployment side. So which is like model deployment side. So model has two phases, development and deployment, which is you work more on the model infrastructure, model as a service deployment, model as an API, right? So ML engineer or ML ops or ML operations, the role here is to build ML and AI based applications and deploy them, host them, so that customers can use it. And versus if you are a data scientist, right, or a research executive, right, what's your role is to build those models, the data science models, the Gen AI models, the deep learning models, right? You build these, train these models, and work with the data engineers, the AI engineers and ML engineers, to deploy them. And then for the root cause, you have business analysts, data analysts, right, who are working with you to do the root cause analysis and post model deployment measurements, like how the model is performing, the A/B test, etc. Right? And then there are some managerial position like manager of analytics, analytics consultant, people who are in the leadership position, or like mid-level leadership, where you are now managing a team, maybe managing an area of a business unit, where your data scientists are working under you, and then you're working along with them to solve the problems of customers. So based on your experience, based on your interest, you can look at these areas. Engineering, AI engineer and ML engineer are mostly on the engineering side. The data scientist and research executives are on the model building side, and analyst, business analyst, reporting analysts are more on the root cause analysis side, and managerial and analytics consultant on the consulting level, or managers, mid management level roles are there. Okay. How the career path looks like in terms of time period, right? So when you start your journey as a data scientist, you fall in a bracket of like 2 to 2 years, right? That is the role when you join is our entry level roles. Like, you are a junior data scientist, junior analyst, you work on a project, but then there are mentors, there are buddies who are working with you on that project. You are assigned a part of a project, not full even project, not fully, I mean, not the full project, but a part of your project is given to you, and you work with your seniors, with them, with to solve the problem. Then between 2 to 5 years, now you start taking projects independently, right? Like basic, not very complex projects, but like at least you work on projects which independently, right? The root cause analysis that I talked about previously, examples, or the model building that you work on your own. And that is the expectation also, that you'll be able to do it without much help. But of course, there are mentors and buddies available who can help you there. Then you have a 5 to 10 years of experience. Now you start managing stakeholders on your own, right? You drive the project, talk to customers on a regular basis, take initiatives, and drive some projects on your own, right? And then 10 to 15 plus, now you lead a team, you lead a unit, you lead more particular competency, where working with the customers and solving any particular, multiple projects maybe at one point in time, or maybe you're managing a team and then team is working on multiple projects. So that's how the journey starts, and you go from maybe a junior analyst or junior data scientist to a senior manager, director level positions, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, let's talk about great learning. So let's shift gear. That's again, and then let's talk about the part three of this topic, right? Of the agenda today. So, what is great learning? Like, how great learning can help you in achieving your career path that we talked about, right? So, great learning is one of the famous brand in terms of it's a leading edtech company and providing in the business analytics and data science courses, right? So they are one of the top rank institute where students have successfully, made career transitions toward data science and business analytics domain. So 18,000 plus career transitions have happened. There are 4,000 companies who are partnering with Great Learning over the years and hiring professionals. Then you have the 400 millions of learning the classes the hours have delivered, and there are more than 7,600 gurus, which are like industry mentors who are actually part of the community, and then they also involved in teaching, evaluations, content creation, etc. At many stages, different stages. Then you have a academic partnership of Great Learning with other universities. Like, for example, the course that I'm going to talk about today from Great Learning, it's actually associated with the University of Texas, Austin, the University of Texas in Austin. You get dual certification, not only like the certification within India from Great Learning, you also get a certificate from University of Texas in Austin, which is applicable or which is valid across the globe, which means you can look for roles outside India as well. Your certificate will be absolutely valid, right? And data science, just to update or just to add one point here, is a professional skill, right? So in the sense that you learn data science by doing, right? So in the sense that once you join a company, you start working on problems and you become more and more like become like you increase your expertise level in data science, right? So the idea is that it's very the way Great Learning has designed the curriculum is actually it is for professional people, right? Who want to shift the career or want to upskill themselves within the same role that you're doing, and it designed such a way that you really get a feeling of like you're very solving real world problems, right? It's not just theoretical or academic program. The purpose is to give you actually a practical level problems to solve these the kind of projects, right, which I mentioned earlier, so that you can leverage this in your day-to-day work, right? So that's where the professional skills comes into picture, and this makes you ready for that professional skill, so that once you join a company on your current, current role, you can achieve the um the projects, you can achieve the data science path that you want to achieve. So what's new in so the course name that I'm going to talk about is the PGP Data Science Program, which is postgraduate program in data science. Um, so far the program has been focused on ML and data analytics side. Now, because of Gen AI, the module has the course has updated with the new modules. There are a couple of modules on Chat GPT and Gen AI, right? So which are like um, providing you the knowledge of Chat GPT and Gen AI, right? So to add as one of the toolkit in your overall like technical and tool skill. Along with that, you have the AI and business analytics module, which are also updated with new case studies, with the new content that is available or relevant in the market. And as I said earlier, that it's not only an academic program; it's more like a workshop experience that you get. You do a lot of projects. There are like 22 plus tools, more than 10 plus hands-on projects. There are 60 plus case studies that you perform. So it's more like, and this is my learning also because I've been an alumni of this course. So you actually get this experience hands-on. You work on Python a lot. All these case studies, problems you solve in either Python, SQL, Tableau, Excel, right? So all the relevant tools that are used currently in the real world by data scientists are used by you in this course, right? So so that's what you actually get in the program. And how the program is structured is actually a 12-month program. The course is, as I said, designed for like people who are working professionals. So it's the classes happen on the weekends, the live classes, Saturday, either Saturday or Sunday. And then throughout the week, you have some recorded contents that you can go through whenever you get time. It's up to you. It's more flexible, like whenever, like in the daytime, evening time, night time, whenever you get time, you actually go through the content material that is available to you. You get dual certification both from Great Learning as well as University of Texas and Austin. It's designed in such a way that it's a peer-to-peer learning program. It's not like a student-teacher relationship only. Of course, that is there, but primarily there's a mentorship session that happens only on weekends, right? Live sessions that happen. You interact with your peers who are the industry mentors, right? Who might be less experienced than you or more experienced than you, right? Because they are currently like solving the problems in data science. They're working in the data science in the companies, right? And along with that, this course actually has been ranked as number 3 across the globe as one of the best program in business analytics and data science. Okay. So curriculum. So as I was mentioning that this course is the another part that I would like to talk about this course is that along with the working professionals, this course is also considers that one point that people can come from different backgrounds, like non-technical backgrounds, engineering backgrounds. So both kind of crowd can be here. So the way the course is designed in such a way, assuming that people don't know about these toolkit that I talked about, Python, SQL, Tableau, right? So you don't know that and you learn from day one in this course. So there are dedicated modules. You can see Python for data science. That's one module for Python, dedicated one. Introduction to SQL. That's SQL dedicated module. There is a Tableau data visualization using Tableau, so which is like teaching you Tableau from day zero, right? So and there are like other Chat GPT that I talked about, Gen AI algorithms, right? So you also go through Gen AI learning, right? So you understand like how to use Gen AI in the real world in your app business problems, applications, etc. Right? And also, not only that, you also learn statistics from the beginning. So inferential statistics, predictive modeling contains, basic statistics contain the modules which are dedicated to the statistics learning. So that people who are again coming from non-statistical background, non-engineering background, non-maths background, they can understand this from again day zero. And plus you have machine learning skills, like I talked about all the algorithm classification one, um, regression ones, deep learning, etc. Right? These algorithms you learn from scratch, again by case study, right? So by case studies. Not only that, you also see a lot of hackathons, capstone project, every module has multiple case studies, right? So you achieve at least 1 or 2 case studies in every module, so that at the end you solve like more than 3 to 4 case studies in a month when the module ends. So and then in the 12 months you actually achieve more than 50 plus case studies hands-on. So this is a content again. I'm not going to detail of this one, but these are like packages in Python, Pandas, NumPy you see available for you guys to that gets covered in the program. Yeah. So with this, I will stop here. I think I've spoken enough. I would now like to take up the questions from you guys. So happy to answer questions if there are already there in the chat or Q&A. You have 2 sections where you can post your questions. So feel free to ask as many questions you can. We have time enough like to cover all the questions. So yeah, happy to answer questions. Please go ahead. Okay. Okay. So related to the content and the questions related to the career path, you can ask from me. For the cost of the program, Great Learning people like Vikas will answer from his side. I can answer on the industry trends, in terms of like the career path,
the skills that are required, any confusion anyone has regarding the background, I can answer those questions.
So guys, I will be sending you a feedback form so you can give all your queries about the program or the queries about the upcoming webinars, fee structure, the program structure, any queries. I will be posting a feedback form. I will be sharing that now. So you can put your queries here if it is related to the program. Yes, Praveen, I have given you the form. I think you can access the form. Okay. Okay. Aniket, there's a question that whether
Yeah.
people from market.
Yeah, Ajit Kumar is asking, okay, so yeah, so that's a good question. So people from marketing background can join. See, data science, one more thing I would like to call out here is it's a horizontal skill. So the thing that I was talking about, right? The capability center that large tech are opening, right? So a data scientist is think about like data science can be at one point in time, a data scientist can work on you know in finance domain, right, which means that solving the problems in finance by data because data is available for finance. Another point in time the data scientist can work in marketing domain, maybe the right now you're working in a marketing world where you're launching a lot of campaigns, you need performance of those, you need to measure the performance of those campaigns, right? So there you need a data scientist who can perform this performance manage of these campaign, like tell you the results, okay, which campaign is effective, not effective, right? So definitely for definitely for marketing background, right? It's one of the, I would say, most desired skill that is needed. So people from marketing, sales, finance, everybody is eligible to become data scientist, right? So it's a good thing that you already have marketing background. You can easily understand like how data can help you. You can you must already be doing some root cause analysis on your own, but like now taking to the one step further, which means that building machine learning algorithms, how to use Gen AI to create the content, use Chat GPT or use other OpenAI models to create the content using Gen AI. It's something that you can leverage. So definitely people who are from marketing background are eligible to learn data science. They should learn data science and machine learning. Okay. Ajit, I hope that answers the question.
And Ajit, to add to that, I'm also an master student in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and I'm currently working in performance marketing. So, marketing people usually say no, marketing is not related to tech, but marketing is very much data driven uh, domain. So, since I'm having an AI/ML background, I can relate, I can get a lot of insights from the data, and it is very useful for me since my background is AI. So since you are from marketing, this would be an ideal course for you to understand the data, to find the patterns, and to gather insights from that. So you can fill the form and give your queries that in that. So whatever queries you have about the program, about the upcoming webinars, you can give it in the feedback form which I have shared, and our team will get back with all the answers. Whether you need brochures or if you want to have a clarity on any other topic related to data science, you can please mention in the feedback form. And you can also ask other questions in the Q&A section or the chat section. We have 15 more minutes, so we have enough time to answer all the queries.
Yeah. Any other question anyone has? No questions?
Aniket, we will wait till 6:50
Yeah,
and
sure.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think people should have questions. Hoping that they will bring up.
Yeah, there is Q&A section, guys. You can see it near the share option or raise the hand option, there is a Q&A section, or else you can also use this chat section to put your queries. Nikki, there is one question in Q&A.
Okay. Yeah. See, I think this also question related to my previous answer, right? So, what kind of roles or job profiles can I apply after the completion? See, as I was mentioning earlier, right? So, data science is a horizontal skill. If you come from a specific background, like Ajit was coming from marketing background, then I would have recommended, okay, you should stick to marketing domain, right? But after completing this course, let's say, as a like data scientist, you would be eligible to apply across the domains. As I said, that data scientists are required in finance domain, sales domain, marketing domain, operations domain as well, right? So it depends upon like supply chain domain, logistics, right? So what happens is all of these companies look for especially people who are good in data science, doing, I mean, building models, doing root cause analysis, etc. So technically, you will be eligible to across these, business domains or roles. And now it depends. The next step would be, it depends upon company to company. If they prefer somebody come from, let's say, specific domain, then they will hire that person. Otherwise, if companies are open to consider the roles, right? So then you would be eligible for all, and you can apply for all these processes and domains. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. Okay.
Okay, and Nikita, I don't think there is any more
Yeah.
questions. So we
Okay.
can thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much,
And
everyone. All
yeah,
the best. Thank you. Bye.
thank you. Also, hey guys, please take some time to fill this feedback form. So whatever queries you have, our team will get back to you. Okay, certificate. So there is no certificate for this webinar. So you will be given certificate on the completion of your course. So you will be given two certificates. One is from the University of Texas, Austin, another certificate from the Great Linen. So this webinar is for introducing you to the topic and also to give you details about the course. Yeah. Okay. So you can fill the forms so that any queries we can get back to you. Uh, I see a good number of responses. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining on a weekday. So I will wait 2 more minutes to take any more questions if you have, or else we can end the webinar. So, yeah, can I join again this webinar? Uh, Minute. Okay. So, you can just fill the form. So you can mention asking the details about webinar. Actually, we conduct around 2 to 3 webinars every month. So, once you fill the form, our team will get back with you to all the queries about the upcoming webinars also. Any other questions? Okay, great. I think uh, that's it. We have cleared all the queries, and I think I have a good number of form responses also. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being so interactive. Thank you.